if you would, man, go into some of the things that you did in order to get you to the point where you were believing different, thinking different, and elevating your mindset to be able to do business in general.
Well, that's a great points you made. And first of all, I want to start with some of those limiting beliefs that I think we all go through, especially when we first start. I wrote a few of them down. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to, you can add a few. Here are a few limiting beliefs that really plagued me at the beginning. They still kind of plague me now. No one will do the job as good as me, so I won't hire anyone. Getting contracts is so hard, so I got to take whatever I can get. I might as well be at the lowest. No one will show up for the job. No one wants to work anymore. Workers can't be trusted. They lie, they cheat, they steal. Those are some of the limiting beliefs that definitely was big on my mind starting off and really hindered me for a little minute. Can you think of any more limiting
Oh,
beliefs?
absolutely, man. Absolutely. I would say even before that part, even just getting the business started, even getting the LLC, I think one of those misconceptions is also business is so hard. You know what I mean? I think it takes effort, but it's not as hard as I thought it was now that I'm in it or now that I even started. So even getting to the point where you are a solo cleaner, right? Even getting to that point, thinking, oh, people aren't going to believe that I can do a good job, or people aren't going to believe that I actually am in business, or it's one of those things, or who am I to go out here and market this company? Who am I to, you know what I mean? Who am I to walk into this place and ask them for their business? It was stuff like that that holds people back as well. And that held me back for the longest time because I didn't necessarily believe that I could do it, not knowing the only thing it was to do. It's literally ain't nothing to it but to do it. Right.
Right.
So that's kind of where I was going from. But yes, then you get to that point where you start hearing people talk about, oh, don't nobody want to work. It's hard to find help, all that stuff. That is the negative programming that I talk about. When I look at one of our topics also was brainwashing ourselves for success. I looked up the term brainwashing, right? Brainwash, the process of making someone adopt radically different beliefs, right? So you hearing that all over and over and over again, and that's you like, you know what? You're right. People don't want to work.
Right.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? It is hard out here, right? Until you adopt a different belief. That's why I say I had to switch what I was listening to. I had to switch who I was listening to and listen to the people who are going to be building me up, and build that mindset up in a more positive direction, in a direction that we want it to be in. And so, yeah, man, any thoughts on that?
Well, see, that was my exact way to overcome those limiting beliefs. You just said it. Videos like these, people like me and you and several others that are on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, following other cleaning business owners, seeing them, wow, okay, they hiring people. They got people with their shirts on in a picture. Oh, they cleaning that office. Oh, they posted, they just got a new account. I think seeing those things, listening to people like you speak positive, speak about how you overcame those challenges, I think that can help overcome limiting beliefs, seeing that it's possible. And like you said, cutting out the negative people, the people who talk like that. Nobody wants to work. You can't trust anybody. Even those that may be in the cleaning field, those are the ones you want to X out of your space, X out of your viewing space. And you want to turn on people like you, people like me, and seeing that it's possible. If they can do it, well, why can't I? That actually helped me to overcome my limiting beliefs. Seeing all these people on YouTube, specifically cleaning business owners, man, if they can hire, if they can get contracts, I can do it too. It's possible. So I think just seeing and watching the right people can help us to overcome limiting beliefs.
Right, right, right. Following the right messenger, hearing the right message. Here's how I like to think in general anyway. If I see somebody do something one time, I know, oh, okay, that's absolutely possible for me too.
Right.
That's the mindset that I adopted. And I like to think about it like this too, faith comes by hearing. And I take it a step further. It's vice versa too. Fear comes by hearing as well. And of course,
Right.
faith comes
Exactly.
from the word of God, but at the same time, it takes faith to hire, to do all that stuff, right? It's just the faith in this is gonna work out. If they can do it, I know I can do it too. And that's, I guess, going back to believing in yourself. What does that play? How does that role play in your business?
Right. You mean faith?
Faith, yeah, faith in general.
That's a good question. Being a Jehovah's Witness, I try to be a man of my word. So if I say I'm gonna clean your facility 5 days a week, then I'm gonna clean it 5 days a week. It's gonna have to be a very special circumstance to where I'm not able to do that. So keeping my word, doing what I said I'm going to do, I think that helps me to get further. That's one of the biggest complaints that a lot of facilities have is the cleaning companies just not showing up. They're just not showing up. They say they didn't come last night. The trash still full. Keeping my word, I think that helps me because obviously that's important to me. And I think finding those who believe the same. They don't have to be a Christian. Like I say, I don't hire all Christians, but looking for those who also are big on keeping their word, are big on integrity, doing the things that they say they're going to do. All of us coming together, we're going to succeed because we got the same thinking. They don't have to be Christian, as I said, but we got the same reliability, the same belief that we need to do what we said we're going to do. So that has helped me a lot, helped my business a lot. It's just hiring and bringing on like-minded people.
There we go.
And we all come together. Like I said, it's like a pot, putting it all in the pot and it just comes together and we do a great job.
Yeah, I love that. Having that mentality all across the board. That's what I look for too. This goes back to track record, reputation, right? This is a perfect segue into reputation of how one's reputation will hinder them or help them. You know what I mean? And that's why I like to look for people that we work with that help us out on our team and partner with and contractors and everything. My people in Arkansas, I'm 700 miles away. I have to trust these people. I'm going to reach out to people who have good reputations with me. I know for a fact, if I put this in their hands, they got it. They're going to take care of it. And yes, they don't have to be of the same belief or whatever, not. But as far as mindset, right, and reputation, as far as taking care of the client, doing this service in a good way, man, right, that's really all you can ask for. So let's speak on that. As far as reputation, have you had instances where people have called you just based off of, hey, I heard from you from so and so. How has that played a part in your business, and what can you give the people as far as how to build a positive reputation for themselves, where business starts to flow to you? It becomes somewhat easy to a certain extent because you got your clients and other customers, previous customers, speaking on behalf of you in a positive way.
Right. That's a good question. Well, we just benefited from our reputation about a month ago. So this client, this warehouse, they were unhappy with their current cleaning company. And so, of course, they did what everybody does today. Clean it. They went on Google, cleaning companies near me. And of course, my website, my business popped up. And one of the things that the point of contact mentioned, she liked all the reviews, the positive reviews that she saw about my company. Really, I don't have any negative. I can't say that won't happen one day, but she was impressed by the positive reviews that we had, not just from clients, but employees that work for us. So in that case, my reputation, I think it enticed her to, hey, we can give them a chance. Like we can't do any worse than what we got now. So I think your reputation online, having that social proof with reviews, with testimonials, keeping your Google, keeping your Facebook, keeping your whatever updated constantly. It gives that good reputation, that social proof, and it makes clients want to give you a chance because we actually end up closing on that account, and now this is our second week now we've been doing it. But that's how my reputation helped me, and that's how I can do for those listening, you all that are listening. If you can build up those reviews, build up that social proof, that definitely can go a long way.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on that too, man. On a new account, that's what's up. But you said the word, man, or the two words, social proof. That right there, man, it goes a long way. More than what you can say or whatever
Right.
your advertising or whatever can say, whatever the people are saying about you really holds a lot of weight. So, but I want to go back a little bit. Speaking of social proof, there's a podcast that I listened to for a long time and still do to this day. This guy, David Shands, he's an entrepreneur. He interviews a lot of different business owners, entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, people who are really doing something. And it's called the Social Proof Podcast. And what on that show right there absolutely helped me believe in myself and believe that these regular people, hearing their stories, really helped me and transformed the way I was looking at business, thinking to myself, like, this don't sound too much different from the things that I already know how to do. As far as talking about the cleaning business, I already knew that that was a possibility because my parents were, in the business. But listening to shows like that, How I Built This, Social Proof, the show you talked about, Upflip, hearing those kind of shows on a daily basis, something like this, that right there really transformed my mind. So just reprogramming my mind to think, oh, I can do business. So that's the advice I would give to people. What are some of the things you did in the early stages? I know you came from a corporate setting to business.
Education and corporate.
Education. Okay.
Right. You said, what are some things I did to kind of renew my mind?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's a good question. As you were talking, something popped in my head, and something else that really gave me confidence, kind of reprogrammed my mind that, hey, I'm a business owner. Hey, I am the boss. I am the owner of a cleaning company. Having some t-shirts with my brand on it, with my name on it.
Mm.
I got some t-shirts with my name on it, with my business name on it. Of course, I made sure to walk around in it. I got a domain, email domain. So I used to have michael@gmail.com, but I actually paid for a new domain to say michael@wilkinsrefreshcleaning.net. So that even more convinced me, okay, I am a business owner. I am the owner of a business. I went, okay. It gave me a little confidence, a little swagger is what I'm saying. So I believe that little things like that, getting your shirt with your logo on it, changing your email domain, even when you cold call and telling people, even in conversation, hey, I'm the owner of the cleaning company, is more and more programming your mind. Hey, I'm a business owner. Hey, I do have a real legit business. I ain't just no mom and pop with a broom, driving around with my stuff, cleaning. I'm real. Getting insurance. That's another thing. I actually bought insurance. Not so much, have I used it yet? No. Have I had to file a claim? No. But it just given me more and more confidence. I got bonded. Have I used that yet? Have I had to file a claim? Nope. But it just more and more programmed my mind, renewed my mind to business, entrepreneurship. gave me that confidence. So I think little tweaks like that, that may cost some money, insurance, bonds, shirts, getting an email domain. I think it just gave me that confidence and helped me to overcome, which what we have on this list is imposter syndrome. Hey,
Woo.
I'm not no imposter. I'm a real biz. What you mean I'm an imposter? I got a shirt, I got insurance. I introduce myself, I tell people I'm a business owner. So just little things like that, I think really reprogram my mind.
Yeah, yeah. It's those subtle things. You're seeing something on a daily basis, whether that's you getting your business card done and you keep it on your dashboard, you getting your logo made, and you just doing something every single day. And it's those little subtle things, like you said, seeing your name on your shirt, looking at that, and it's
Right.
subtle programming that's just it's just drip feeding. Like the seed is planted from the moment you start doing anything, but you watering that seed
Right.
over time, doing stuff like that. And going to imposter syndrome, the inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. So I see here the inability to believe, right? That's that imposter syndrome. The way that I feel like getting over and through that imposter syndrome is to put in the work. When you constantly just putting in the work, here's the thing. We're talking about the mindset and the things that you can do to build up to that. But with that mindset and belief transformation, the action is what is going to solidify that.
Right.
Right? Solidify. That's why I tell people, take one positive action every day. That's going to get you over there because of the fact that I've been doing this so long. It's almost ingrained in me. It's the whole, I'm doing this on a more of a subconscious level. I don't even have to think about it sometimes. You know what I mean? Some of the things that we do, we don't even have to think about. But it's like, oh, people might look and say, how did you just do that? Whatever you may do or whatever. But it's one of those things where, you know what? I've been doing this so long,
Right.
it's ingrained in me. And when you get to that point, the whole imposter syndrome, that completely goes away. I remember going to a walkthrough with my mentor one time. And I came all dressed up, man, and I got my my polo, and I got my khakis on, I got my nice dress shoes. He pull up in a t-shirt, some shorts, some tennis shoes. He had just got done from a job. When we walk in, I look all professional, but I'm letting him do all the talking because of the fact that I didn't have the full belief in myself. He asking questions that I didn't even think to ask. I remember getting to the janitorial closet and he asked, "Oh, are we going to be supplying paper towels, tissue, bags, soap?" All that. I'm like, that was a wonderful question. And then the guy let him know this and that. But it was things like that where I'm watching him and I'm like, okay, so this is how you do that. And me putting in that kind of work, me going through the walkthroughs with somebody guiding me, kind of helping me, it was helping me to realize, okay, this is how I need to come in here and do this. And that whole imposter syndrome stuff, that goes out the window. Now I'm doing walkthroughs like it's nothing. You know what I mean? I'm going through there with grace, ease, and flow. I said it all the time. I want to do this business with grace, ease, and flow.
I like that.
Only way you get there is to get through all that tough stuff, right?
Right.
All that. Kind of speak on some of your first moments of what you had to go through to get through all that.
Well, imposter syndrome, I've definitely dealt with that and still do to this day. One of the biggest things, I think I told you this, or I said this on the live, having employees that are older than me is very weird to me. Well, I'm getting over it now, but it was definitely very weird to me. Telling them what to do when they make a mistake. Hey, you didn't do that good. Obviously, we used to the opposite, the older people telling us what to do. Is that something you dealt with also? I think you said you did.
Absolutely, brother. Still to this day. Still to this day. Now, I'm 28. How old are you?
I'm 27.
27. Okay, so we're about the same age in that area. So yes, and we may cut this out if you're okay with keeping it in the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
But here's the thing: there's probably other people that's our same age or even younger or a couple years older who dealing with this same exact thing.
Right.
Here
Right.
is something that I've realized. I have to set the standard regardless.
Right.
With my people, regardless of if they are right at my age or 10 years older than me, which a lot of them are, or even 20, some of them are my grandparents' age that work with us, you know? I mean, seriously, but here's the thing I like to think about. If I set the standard from day one, they already
Right.
know how I am. They know
Right.
how I'm coming. And I let them know in the interview, when we first meet each other, hey y'all, you know, this is the situation. I'm going to be going and doing inspections. And as soon as I see something, regardless of how we feel about it, I have to let you know, we have to correct it. And that's the ongoing training. Are
Right.
you okay with that? And they let me know, yes. And I like to get their feedback just to see how are they going to take this. Are you okay
Right.
with this? And this is how it is. But yes, it's one of those things where I still deal with it today. I just wrote a message to this morning about something that was missed in one of the waiting rooms in one of the large clinics we got. The guy is probably 40 something. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's probably 40. But I have to just do it, man. And we have to have conversation. We have to communicate. And I think the more and more we do it, the more and more we take those actions, that starts to fade away. You know, you start to build up a callus or some sort to where it's natural now. It's all right. And then they know how I am too. So anyway, that's kind of how I deal with it.
That's an excellent point. Like you said, if you get used to constantly giving them feedback, most of the time those feelings are kind of dissipate. But another thing, going to mindset, if you keep focusing on, I'm the younger person, they the older person, oh Lord, how is it that I can give them counsel? How is it that I can correct them? If your mind just keeps zeroing in on that kind of thought, you're messing yourself up. Because really, to be honest with you, most of the time, I don't think they're thinking that, unless you got the wrong person on your team. Most time, the older person is not really looking at it like that. They view you as, like you said, if you present yourself professional, if you show from day one, hey, I'm in charge. I respect you, but I'm in charge. Most of the time, they're not looking at it like that. It's you that keep your negative mindset, your crazy mind. I deal with it too. You the one thinking like that. And that's something else I've learned, is that this is for life in general. A lot of times, stuff we be worried about, the other person or other people ain't really giving it much thought. So in relation to the imposter syndrome, specifically when it comes to dealing with older team members, get your mind off that. Don't even worry about that. Because they're not thinking about that 9 times out of 10.
Right. And here's the thing: if that's on your mind and that's affecting your psyche, they can feel that.
Right. That's true too.
For real. And it's a matter of you just understanding, hey, this is the situation. And like you said, focusing on the positive outcome of this. Okay, what is the thing that I want to accomplish here? I want to let them know what's going on. There's something that I have to say. I need to get clear on this. And a lot of times, man, I would have to sit and pray. Just, Lord, help me, give me the right words to say. I've done this several. Give me the right words to say. Give me the right approach. Allow me to do this the way that I need to. And then I just go and do it. I just take the action in faith. So, but I want to go back to this focus part, right? Whatever we put our focus on, because that was a key word that you just said. And when we talk about brainwashing ourselves for success and understanding where we want to focus, I looked up the term success, right? What is success, right? What is success to us? And I looked up that too. The accomplishment of an aim or purpose, right? The thing that we are focused on, right? And if I'm thinking about that, that's what it is. So we need to have a aim. We need to have a purpose. We need to have a vision, right? We got vision, goals, targets, whatever that thing is for you. I came down here to Florida. I had an aim. My aim was to plant seeds, right?
Right.
And potentially get a contract. And
Right.
that's exactly what happened. I went out there with that focused intention, and it happened. Right.
Right.
Not saying it was easy or it'll always happen. Just, I just so happened to be in alignment with right time, right place, right time. The way that things work out, just it was miraculous. But that's why I tell people all the time is to write. That's what I started doing, writing these things down. Right, the power of the written word. It was so important to me. And it's almost how people tell people to write down business plans, right? This is essentially kind of what we're talking about. And
Right.
but that's you having a focus. That's you getting a brand new car, a new Camry, and now you see Camrys all over the place, right? Because now your attention is kind of focused on it.
Yeah.
But that's the same with our business and opportunities. I was clear on the opportunities I wanted to go after. I was clear on the type of building. I was clear on the type of customer, client. When I seen them,
Right.
or when they were presented to me, I knew, oh, that's what it was. And that's a matter of focus. So speak to that too, man. The power of focus. And then do you write down your goals and you got a, vision on paper, all that stuff?
Right. Well, a good saying that I have learned and learned it to be true is where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you walking into these offices, to bid your services, or if you're cold calling, and if your focus is, and going back to mindset, negative, oh, they ain't gonna want to listen, they ain't gonna want to talk to me, I'm just wasting their time. It's gonna affect the way you speak. It's gonna affect your demeanor. It's gonna affect your facial expression. But if your focus is, here's a trick that I figured out. If you focused on, man, I could really help this company. I know for a fact we could get it, we could get the job done in here. Whatever problems they're dealing with, if any, I know my company can solve it. I'm an honest person, I'm a hardworking person. I got a great team behind me. I just know they'll be foolish not to give me a chance. They missing out, not me. When your focus is like that, you just are gonna come across way more positive, way more energetic. So that's one thing that I want to say about focus. And yes, like you said, writing your goals down. Sometimes things can get jumbled up in your mind. You things you want to do, things your goal, your aims. But when it's up here, sometimes it's just not clear sometimes. That's what I do, writing it down, putting it on paper, just being able to look at it can give you more clarity.
Absolutely, man. That
And
right there, so important. Go ahead.
I was going to say another tip I've learned. Here's a good tip for anyone listening. So sometimes maybe I'll ask you first. Maybe when you first started off, and I think you said this, when you had to go on a walkthrough, you were pretty nervous, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. And when you went door to door, you were nervous.
Yep.
What else? What else? A lot of other things you may have done. We've done in business. We were nervous.
Cold calling.
Right. Cold calling. Man, I'm nervous. A trick that I've learned is to do this. Let's say I get up at 8 in the morning and I'm a cold call at 9 a.m. So my goal is I'm cold calling once 9 a.m. starts. Instead of thinking, oh Lord, I got the cold call today. I don't know. What's the response going to be? Oh, I'm dreading picking up that phone. A trick that I've done with my mind is fool myself. Man, I'm excited to cold call. I'm ready to talk to these people. I'm excited. Or a walkthrough. I got going to walkthrough. I'm nervous. You know what? I'm not dreading that walkthrough. I'm happy. I'm ready for that walkthrough. Woo. 1 o'clock. If the walkthrough is at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock can't get here enough. Oh man, I'm ready. So get your mind off the dread. Oh Lord. Fool yourself. It's gonna be hard at first, but trick yourself into thinking, man, I'm ready for this. I can't wait. And it's gonna be a better overall result. So that's a good point on brainwashing.
Absolutely, man. I love that so much. You know what? I got down right here. It's not fake it until you make it. It's just taking the action
Right.
with the positive enthusiasm about you. I'll do the same thing, man. It's there's several times where I go, it's too easy. I speak to it like
Right.
this is too easy. I can do this. And that right there, man, you talked about on the live. Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I take
Right.
it a step further and say, if you say you can't or you say you can, then that's absolutely probably what's going to happen. It won't happen because of the fact that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you
Right.
saying that you can't do this, you saying it's too hard, you saying, oh, I don't know if I can, I don't know if we're going to be able to, you're not even going to attempt to try. You're not even going to give it any effort. But if you say you can, you start believing like that, you start to and take that action, taking that action with that faith. You speaking that and you doing it, you taking the action. Oh man, there's a way. Things that
Right.
you say, if
Exactly.
there's a will, there's a way. Just like this YouTube stuff, man. I don't know how long I was talking myself out of this, man, until I finally said, you know what, man, let me just record a video. And then here we go. I meet good people like you, man. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Stuff like that.
Right.
And
What was some of your reservations about YouTube?
you know what, man? I believe at the beginning, I was kind of thinking, what am I gonna have to say? You know, people there's enough people out here talking
Oh,
about
yep.
this. That what am I gonna add? But it was one of those situations where I'm going through an incredible experience in life right now. I want to share this. This might
Right.
help some people. And then I started just sharing, man, and just doing something. I think that the first video I did was something very practical. How to clean a restroom,
I
right?
saw that one. Yeah.
Like a professional. And I'm like, let
Yeah.
me, and that was cool. I got some good feedback from it. That video started doing well. I was like, you know what? I might have something else in me. And then
Right.
that's literally how it just started going. And then after a while, I'm starting to build this thing up where now I'm meeting people like you. We have these kind of conversations. And I'm in my mind is now to the point where the imposter syndrome for this is gone, right?
Wow.
Because it's really happening. I'm really in this. Speaking
Right.
about coaching people, and I'm doing consultations. And on to that point, too, by the way, man, you are starting your own coaching program going right now, too. I want to speak on that, too, man. So if you would, let's go into that right now. It's perfect time.
Well, I was just like you. Like you just said you were about starting YouTube. I was like that toward coaching, mentoring. I was like, man, it's enough playing biz mentors out here. What do I have to say that's any different? Why would they come to me and not go to anyone else or go to the more popular ones? So on my website, I've had a little page you can click on to sign up for mentoring. I've had that up for 6 months, but I've never advertised it. I've never done anything to make anyone know that it's there. They may see it only if they visit my website. No, that will be the only way they see it. But 3 weeks ago, somebody actually signed up for my coaching. I don't know how they found me, but they are wanting to start their own cleaning business. So that clicked in my head. Wow, you know what? If I can, if I got one person to sign up without me doing anything, what would happen if I were to market this thing? You know what? Maybe I can give them a new perspective that maybe someone else can't. And it's like you with the YouTube. Okay, it's plenty of other YouTube guys, cleaning business owners, but it may be some about you that I that resonates with me that just don't resonate with that other guy. I don't really like him. He seemed different, or he just don't resonate with me. So my point is, there's something about all of us that may appeal to certain people. And so we probably, no, we can have success. We really can
I
because,
love it.
right, I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm someone's cup of tea. So my point is that's what spurred me on when that guy signed up for my coaching and he wants to start his own cleaning business. He actually trusted me to help him. That spurred me to say, okay, well, I can kind of try to do something with this.
Yeah, yeah, man. Oh man, there's so many places I can go right here with this whole thing. First and foremost, yes, that was also the thing that I was understanding too. So I guess to back up a little bit, I started following this channel called Think Media, and they talk about YouTube and branding yourself on YouTube and how to start a YouTube channel and all that. And I was listening, and that same exact thing that you just said, he said something about there's somebody out there looking for you, looking for
Right.
your guidance. When he said that, man, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get started. So, and then let's turn it into this too, as well as you coaching, me being a coach, me being a consultant and doing my thing, having my program. I could have been like, no, I'm not about to talk about your
Right.
coach.
Right.
Here's the thing, though, bro. I understand that you have value. You could help some people out there as well. Also, I understand that there is enough out here for everybody.
Right.
I can't coach everybody. Here's the thing. I don't use the word I can't. I'm gonna say it like this. My ability to coach everybody is just not, that's not a thing that I can do on my own. There's plenty of people that need help. If people resonate with you, absolutely. And that goes back down to the abundance mindset, man.
Right.
Another thing I want to go into as well. People saying, oh, ain't no clients out here, or I can't find no clients, whatever. Man, focus on there's enough out here for everybody. That's what I tell people all the time. I was just on a call with somebody last week, and I coach on the strategy of locking up with somebody where you can do subcontracts, right? Well,
Right.
this lady said that she ended up meeting somebody. She was trying to just let them know, hey, I'd be glad to subcontract for you if you had some extra opportunities. And the man hit her with, it's a cutthroat business and all this. I'm like, no, 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 no,
Right.
no, no. There's enough out here for everybody. It's not a cutthroat business unless you say it is. Unless if
Right.
you think like that, then it will be for
Right.
you. Right. And so anyway, man, I love that mentality of the abundance mentality, understanding that there is enough out here, and everybody not going to be able to serve everybody,
Right.
right? If that makes any sense. One company is not going to be able to serve all these buildings,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
They need all of us. And
Right.
so speak on that too a little bit, man.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I won't say this person or this company's name, but I used to watch this entrepreneur, and me personally, he was going a little too wild. It was getting a little too hard to listen to him. He was going off into some crazy topics, and so my point is why I switched to watching you more. That's why you resonate with me, because good, clean content, good sense of humor. You don't obviously deviate into certain topics. You keep it clean and crisp. So that runs into or reminds us of what we just talked about, which was certain people. Hey, that entrepreneur I'm talking about, certain people he resonates with. But it kind of became tiring to me. Yeah, so it's enough out here for everybody. It's everybody's cup of tea is different. And when it comes to an abundance mindset, if you got, let's say, you think it's hard to get contracts, and it's not easy to get cleaning contracts. Let's be honest. It's not just a breeze. But if you think it's hard, I got to take what I can get. I got to take whatever I can get. It don't matter the terms. It don't matter the service. Two things are going to happen. You're going to underbid just to get the contract. And of course, that's going to hurt you in the long run. because you're not going to be getting enough profit, and you didn't bid the contract high enough to hire it out. So if you got that kind of thinking of, man, I got to take whatever I can get, it ain't enough out here, you're going to underbid it. The second thing that'll happen, you'll take any contract knowing that, oh, this point of contact seems a little dictator-like, but I got to take what I can get. Or let's say, here's another thing. Now, I'll ask you, would you take a doctor's office that asks you to clean once a month? Would you take that? Maybe you would, but I'll ask you.
Interesting. You know what? A doctor's office that asked me to do something like that, that would be a challenge because of the fact that they use or have a lot of patients on a normal basis. So if they were to ask us to come and do a deep clean, that's how I would certify it. It would be a certified deep clean every time, which they paying a whole lot more than a general type of janitorial cleaning. So in that case, because I do have some financial advising offices that are twice a month, one of them is once a month, but they have little to no traffic.
Right, exactly.
That's like that. So in the terms of how you're speaking, if it was just something where they didn't want to accept this price, absolutely, that wouldn't be my customer. Wouldn't be able to do it.
Or what I tell you, a better example would be, and here's a place we know gets dirty: a gym.
Ooh,
once a month.
Once a month?
Mm-hmm. Would you take that? Okay, that's my point. Now we know that would probably be a disaster. It needs to be upkept regularly, at least once a week, and that's pushing it too. My point is, if you got it's called scarcity mindset. If you like, man, I got to take what I can get. You may agree to those terms. Yeah, I clean your gym once a month, and it'll be a disaster. And think about this: that's going to be hard to hire out too, once a month. So my point is, if you don't have an abundance mindset, you'll just settle for any contract, any price. And that's going to bite you in the long run. See, I'm dealing with that now. I got 2 contracts that I'm definitely about to drop. One of them, the problem is I'm waiting over 60 days to get paid. Along with the fact that I underbid it on it, I'm waiting 60 days to get paid. And the problem was I didn't set any standards from the beginning. I was just happy because we had just got in business. I was just happy to get a contract. And she told me they don't want to sign any agreement. They don't want to be locked down to any year contract or anything. So I went, yeah, that'd be fine. And now it's biting me because not only did I underbid and I can't hire anyone for it, I clean it twice a month, but it's a real dirty office. It's a real dirty office that need more than that. And there's other contract that I'm about to drop. It's a gym, once a week cleaning. And when we go in there, it be so dirty. Oh my goodness. And it takes so long simply because it's once a week. And here's the worst part. It's a 24/7 gym. It's open 24/7. Man, people be marching in and out of there like a marching band. And I underbid it, and it's once a week. So my point is, and I'm working on this now, I'm working on having more of an abundance mindset. You know what? If I go on a walkthrough and I don't like the terms of this contract, I don't like this person's vibe, I'm letting it go. I'm not pursuing it. Because I know on the back end, or eventually, I'm going to find something that fits me and my team better. So that abundance mindset will definitely benefit you.
Great points, man. I appreciate the fact that you are speaking from real experience too. Because yes, I've had certain instances like that. My first couple of contracts were a nightmare, man. I just, like you said, I was ready to get my foot in the door. I bid it very incorrectly, and it didn't work out so well. And in that case, that contract pretty much ended itself for me. You know, the lady, she couldn't even pay that amount that we was charging her. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's all.
Yeah.
We'll be, we'll be happy to let this contract terminate or whatever. So, but speaking to that point of selling with confidence, right? Marketing with confidence, bidding with confidence. I'm going through something right now where that humongous building, office building that needs a deep clean. They need a post-construction cleaning on it. It's 19,000 square feet. Now, there's a lot going on in my head right now in this very moment. That's what I'm working on, outside of us doing this call and things like that. But I'm having to keep in my mind, I am not going to sell myself short on this. I have to bid this correctly, and I'm gonna get some coaching from my mentors, people that help me out, and I'm gonna shoot it by them. Hey man, this is kind of what I'm thinking. This is what I got. I worked up everything, and I put my price for this and that and all that in there. This is my number. And here's the thing we got to think about too. Once that bid is sent, not saying it can't be tweaked or fixed later on, but once you send that bid and they put that ink on there, you locked in, right? And so let's think about, I want to go into this direction too, because you're dealing with this right now. Have you thought about, I wonder if I can go and ask them for some sort of.
That's a good point.
Right? I've never been able to do it.
Right. The reason why I'm not going to do that is because I already know from dealing with them, from talking with these two contractors, two point of contact, that they're sheepies, that they're sheep. They think lowest price, simply because I can tell you from both experiences. They chose me because I was the lowest bid. They told me that I was the lowest bid. So that tells me right there, they're not my ideal client. Now, could I go back and ask for more money and make things be okay? Probably. But I already know their thinking. I already know you're a price shopper. And I would prefer, and which I'm gonna do in the next month, the next 30 days, we getting out of it. So my point is, those people when you go on a walkthrough or even on the phone, however y'all get the walkthrough, they'll probably say it from the beginning. We're looking for affordable. They'll emphasize we're looking for affordable. Like I said, we can't pay, but only so much. We got a budget. Most of the time, if they talking like that, I say run to the hills.
Yeah.
Because those are the wrong kind of people. So I'm not to answer your question, I'm just gonna get away from these two contracts.
Okay. And I appreciate that answer too, because yes, man, you do know after a while you and dealing with them, you know what, man, I don't want to deal with this no more. And absolutely, we do have the right and authority to fire clients as well. Right. We can fire them too, and I like to have that mindset as well. They need us.
Right.
You know what I mean? They need us. Especially people like us with integrity. We putting quality into it. We doing what we have to do on a daily basis, or however much we agreed on, and we doing a good job. Oh man, it's have to be reciprocal. And we aren't the Walmart or the Dollar General of this, not saying we are the Saks Fifth, Neiman Marcus, whatever you call it, them, but we want to be paid well to do this job because we're going to do a great job. And so I appreciate that, man. I actually just had a bid that I put out, I would guess a month ago, and it was for this nursery, this plant nursery, their office, right? Okay. So imagine this big old garden center, and they got a decent sized 2,000 square foot office building that they take transactions in, and they do the calls, and they got the office in the back. So anyway, this place is filthy. It's dirty. They want cleaning once a week, and they want it to be. And here's the thing: they open on Sundays or Saturdays as well. So that means the cleaning would have to be done either Saturday night or Sunday afternoon or whenever on Sunday, right? So I'm looking at this place like, okay, this place could probably be cleaned. If I'm gonna do a good job, it can probably be cleaned, I would say, anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. Do a good job because you got a bunch of dirt on the floor, people tracking in dirt. Then you got 2 restrooms, you got a break room, offices, all that good stuff, right? And I simply just bidded it at about $100 a visit, somewhere around there. And that to me, I'm thinking I'm about to bid this high. I'm bidding high because it might take me about an hour and a half. That's me bidding quote unquote high because of the fact that they're demanding my weekends for one, right? Yeah. They're demanding the weekend. And then this place has been filthy all week and we coming in here and pulling all this trash. I'm looking at the trash like that's going to be an issue, while doing a walkthrough, that's going to be an issue. And they didn't accept it. Well, thank you very much. That's not my client.
Right.
But that's how we got to start looking at this and then we going in there with the mentality of either you say yes or no. I am not here to beg you. You know what I mean? We're not coming with a beggar's mentality no more, especially we've been in business this long. It's one of them things where, hey, I appreciate the opportunity, but here's how this is going to go. This is our price. Is that okay? If not, then we're not for you. Make somebody else. And so I think that's another mentality or mindset piece that we should adopt early too, because of the fact that, yes, sometimes we do get in situations where, like you were saying, down the line, you're looking up like, I don't really like this one.
Bro, that is so true because some clients, some walkthroughs and contract that I bidded on, I'm glad I lost it. I'm so glad I didn't win it because it would have been a headache. Like you said, weekends are usually harder to staff. And from what I've seen, now you may be able to find somebody that only works weekend. Weekends are perfect for them. But from what I've seen, that's probably going to be hard. And it probably would have required you to be out there, which obviously would take away from you working on the business. Yeah. So also, like you said, one day a week, I don't like those accounts. I really don't because they are trouble to staff. Unless you can get whoever you put in that account, unless you can put them on some other things to make it worth it, it's probably you're not gonna keep it staffed. So a lot of contracts that I bidded on, the point I'm making, I'm so glad we didn't win them.
Right. Yeah, and then some of them, whenever you lose it, you're like, you know what? I'm happy about that. Back in my Arkansas business, I would have accounts because that's where I generally started. I would have some accounts like that where it was like, man, and I would have some of them where, man, I bidded this one really well, and you just have that. And so anybody that's new and getting started, I tell them on the one-time cleanings, things like that, where you're doing a deep clean for somebody or you're doing a house clean or somebody wants you to do just a specialty job, on those you can experiment more with. You might low bid that one, low ball it a little bit, but you did that one time, you learn your lesson, you can bounce back on the next one and you can do it. But when you lock in these contracts, you want to really dot your I's, cross your T's. You really want to understand, okay, let me telescope out 5 years. What does this contract look like? Okay, I think that might be okay. Because that's generally around the time where you might be doing some updating. I got some contracts from my Arkansas business that we have not touched as far as updating the prices at all. It's been the same thing over and over. Every month they paying that same exact invoice. I think one time the sales taxes changed. And I'm like, why that number look different? And I figured out, okay, the sales taxes. But for the most part, a lot of these contracts, man, it's locked in, and I got recurring revenue coming in every single that same exact amount. And so, yes, man, you definitely want to lock in a good number. You want to sell with confidence. You want to have that mindset of, hey, I'm locking this in. I want to have an abundance type of mindset on this, and not shoot myself in the foot. So
Right.
you're right
Exactly.
about
And then another thing before we get off this, okay, let's say you had a 1 day a week account and you hire somebody to do it, hire somebody to clean it. Another issue is, because I've had a few, I got a few now. Another issue is, it's not enough money to go around for inspections. For some cleaning companies hire an inspector. That's something I'm working on now. Well, it's not a lot of money to go around with a 1 day a week account. Also, you as the owner, it's not a lot of money you're getting from that particular 1 day a week account. So you can go do the inspections behind that worker, but it's not enough money to go around for you to be driving out. I mean, it's a nightmare, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm sure you would agree. 1 day a week accounts, um, what is it? Oh, bi-weekly accounts. They're harder to staff simply because it's people nowadays, maybe they've always been like this. Just that little number and just 1 day a week, it just doesn't feel like enough. Unless you can sprinkle in, as I mentioned, some other accounts to make it worth it for them, to make them feel like they're getting a decent amount, then it may work. But those are usually nightmares to staff. I know you mentioned you got those financial offices. Now, those may be easy because how long do they take? Maybe an hour?
right. Less than an hour, right?
Okay, now that may work.
Right. So here's yes, you are on to something with that because yes, whenever it's something where it's once a month or bi-weekly, something like that, it is tough for the staff because yes, there's not enough hours is what people are looking for.
Right.
People are looking for their hours. And yes, on particular jobs like that, I bid them high. You know, I'm bidding them around anywhere from 60 to 70 bucks an hour, something like that, regardless of it take me 40, 30, 40, 50 minutes to do it. I'm going to bid it. This is where I'm starting at. If I'm going to have to drive over here and do this for y'all, I'm bidding it around 60 to 70 bucks an hour. And so that's how I'm bidding it. And also, if it's during the daytime, that's something I could carve out an hour of my time and go and do that. But if it's in the evening, yes, that's something where I think in my Arkansas business, I was able to, because I was doing most of the work in my Arkansas business. So I had something like that and I was able to take care of those. But if we wanted to give that to somebody, like, hey, this would be your account. Yeah, they'll be like, hey, man, I need more hours.
Right.
You know? Yes. And then thinking about, okay, now I got to get somebody to go and inspect that person. A lot of times that's me. Nowadays, I'm doing more of the inspections. But if it's something like that, yeah, man, it's challenging. My best recommendation is to bid it high enough to where it would make sense for you to go over there and do it. Or say, for instance, yeah, in the next couple months or so, if I want to hire somebody, I could pay them $30. You know what I mean? To go and do that, or 40 or 35 or something like. Let's say we split it right in the middle. Hey, I paid $35 clean this building for 1 hour. Some people may be able to do that, but yes, it would be a very unique case because a lot of people that work with us, they got day jobs already. So we're looking at somebody that might be retired, maybe, or something like that. So yeah, did I answer your question? What was
that did. You said how it can be a challenge, to staff those.
Yeah,
so
man.
we more so now. I'm close to making this rule. I haven't made it yet, but I'm close to saying from now on, my business will only take at least 3 day a week accounts. I'm close to saying that simply because it'll be much easier to staff. 2 days, 2 is pushing it, but I may do 2 depending on the office. But I'm thinking of a minimum of 3 day accounts, 3 day a week.
I like the way you're thinking on that because yeah, like I was just talking about, you're telescoping out and saying, okay, this is where I am right now. The next 4 or 5 years or so, we plan on being more hands off, doing a lot of working on the business, doing things like this, speaking, coaching,
Right.
right? That's kind of the avenue we're heading toward. And we plan on hiring people to run these systems for us. So you're absolutely right. And I love those rock solid rules too, man. Like this is what we do. If it ain't that, I'm not doing
Right.
it. This is going back to focus, right?
Right.
Focus on what we want. That was one of the things that I was doing. I remember for the longest time, I was telling my wife, we want medical offices. We want medical facilities. We want medical. I remember saying like that type of commercial. We want that. I remember saying that to her for the longest time because we were doing all kind of stuff, warehouses. I mean, just a bunch of stuff. And we came down here, and that was my exact target. I went and I pierced them. Every medical type of facility that I wanted, that's what I went after. And now because I know them, I understand them, and I know how the schedule goes. For the most part, unless it's emergency room, they are 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Right.
That is beautiful. That's what I want. Right.
Right.
And so it's things like that. Yes, having a focus on it and not saying that we wouldn't take something else. We starting to kind of reach out here a little bit, doing a couple of different things. But for the most part, I'm thinking about, okay, 5 years from now, this is the systems I want in place. This is how I want the business to be running. I don't necessarily want to be doing, because like these financial advising offices I was just telling my mentor, man, I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing these, but I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing these. I may end up, I have to go through that experience of finding somebody that could possibly take them over for me, for that one day, and yeah, I'm sure that would be a challenge, but
And basically, the point you just made is valuable to those listening. Niching down, however it's pronounced. So, and that's something that we did it because we were doing residential and commercial, so we stopped doing residential. Now we just do commercial. So that's niching down. Another way to niche down would be what you just said. Y'all mainly market and go after medical offices. Not that y'all wouldn't accept a law office or a dentist office, or that's still medical, isn't it? Or
yeah,
medical is considered doctor.
I guess you could put that in there too.
Okay.
Anything like that as well. Yeah, we could say dentist office.
It doesn't mean y'all wouldn't accept a warehouse, a factory, but you're mainly marketing to medical offices. So that's something that I want to implement, is picking a certain niche and then mainly marketing to those people online, social media, cold calling. And maybe here's an idea I learned from somebody else in the cleaning business. They only go after dentist offices, but they'll accept clients from like law offices, warehouses, but those people have to come to them. So I thought that was interesting, especially if you live in a big city. I definitely think that would work. We only go after medical offices. Them the only people we talk to or try to market to. But the other ones, if a warehouse want us, they'll have to come to us. So I thought that was a good point too.
Right. And it makes your marketing and your advertising, it makes it easier because of the fact that you are crafting all of your material, your whole perception online, everything looks like we go after you, this person, right? This is our client. And so when that particular client sees that, they know that you speak in their language, right? Oh, this person is speaking to me. And so it makes it a little bit easier. I was telling somebody, there's quite a few people that'll show me their flyer, right? And they'll show it to me and I give them my honest feedback. If I see something where you got some residential type photos on there, I'm thinking, hey, what are we doing here? Are we going commercial or residential? And they
Right.
tell me, oh, we're going out to commercial. Well, here's the thing. If you come to me with a flyer that has a bed, a made up bed on it, it has
Right.
a living room all neatly clean, that is great. But this decision maker is going to think you want to go clean their house.
Right.
They're not going to think you want to clean their office here that you
Right.
in right now. So I would say, yes, tailor your marketing to who you want to go present to, right? Because that's going to make it, in their mind, they are perceiving you as this kind of company. Now, on the other hand, if you going door to door in the neighborhood and you got that kind of flyer, perfect.
Right.
Perfect. They can look around their house right now and say, "Ooh, I want my house to look like this picture on this flyer."
Exactly.
You did this? Okay, come on in here, give me a quote. Something like that. It's more easy. It's just easier, right? And so that's why I started doing that and understanding, oh, if I'm saying this, I want to go after this type of client, then okay, all of my branding is being changed up to just them. And
Right.
it kind of clicks, you know, if that makes any sense.
Exactly. Because to add to that, you watch what was that channel you said you watch for entrepreneurs?
Social Proof podcast.
And they interview all kinds of entrepreneurs, right?
Right.
From all fields.
Right.
Okay. Now that's good. But you also, it would be probably better for you if you had a podcast just for cleaning business owners. That would resonate with you 50 times more.
Right.
So it's the same with, like you said, clients. If a medical office is looking for a new cleaning company and they come across a company that is speaking to medical offices, we disinfect, and they got pictures of the doctors and the whatever, the masks, that will speak more to them than just, like you said, general pictures. So niching down is definitely a great idea. And our marketing also.
Right. That goes back to what is success, right? Success, the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. Who are you aiming at, right? That's what I ask people a lot nowadays. What are we aiming at? What's the target? What's the goal? Okay, how much income are we looking to do in this business? How many people is that going to take? How many clients is that going to take? That's it right there. And just getting clear on that, going back to what we were talking about, writing it down. It's some about that too, man. There's been several things that I've just written down, like you said, just to kind of do a brain dump, get it out of my mind. I want to write it down. This is what I want this to look like. This one. I remember, man, write down, find a non-relative mentor, right? I remember writing this down when I was first getting started. And because I have my parents, but when you're dealing with your parents, it's a little bit different. My stepfather, he knows a whole lot about the business, but at the same time, I wanted to give more perspectives as well. So I remember writing that down, find a non-relative mentor. I remember doing that. And I don't know how this happens, but me writing it down, me reading it, and then saying it, it's just in my subconscious mind, right? And I put it back in my mind. When I seen him or when he was presented to me, I was able to find that person, right? I was focused on that, right? That's why let's talk about aim and knowing what you want. Anyway, long story short, I'm in church one day, I'm serving this evening. I was getting ready to do work the pro presenter where we put the words on the screen, while the sermon is going, all that. I was going to be doing that this evening. And there was a guy working the lights that same night. Anyway, long story short, this guy just so happened to own a cleaning business as well, doing really well. My guy, this is my guy to this day. Man, I ended up speaking to somebody about wanting to do the cleaning business, all that, thinking he was in the business. And he was like, no, man, I'm not in this business. You should talk to this guy. Just so happened, we both sitting in the same booth this evening, chopping it up, man. We ended up having lunch the next day. Instantly, that guy became my mentor. Maybe I don't know how it happened. Me, right place, time, but me focusing on that,
Right.
me thinking about that, me writing that down, and now I'm starting to, oh, are you him? Are you him? Are you, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking for
That's
my
a good point.
opportunity, and
Right.
that's how it happens. Same with the business, man. Same with, I want this medical office. I want medical facility. Are you the medical facility? Are you?
Right.
Oh, I found him. Now I
Right.
found, you know what I'm saying? And now the opportunities just start rolling because it's a matter of me being focused on that. And that is the definition of success.
Right.
You accomplishing that aim, right? And just like this call today, man, we set a time. This is, I believe this is a success. By the way, y'all, if you get any value out of this conversation, my brother out here pouring his heart out, man. If you get any value out of this conversation, give us a like on this one. And as well as, man, show some love to my guy Michael on here, man.
Appreciate
Anyway,
that.
yeah, man. But yeah, that's how I like to think about that, man.
Yeah, and another thing that we said we would talk about, fear of rejection. Um, would you like to go over it first?
Yeah. So the way I look at it, right, the fear of rejection, I was saying that the thing that I want is on the other side of that fear, right? There's this famous quote, the cave you fear to enter. Oh man, the treasure is in the cave you fear to enter, something like
Okay.
that, right? So the thing you're going after is on the other side of that quote unquote fear, you know.
Right.
And then there's an acronym for fear as well: false something appearing real, false
Evidence, I think. Yeah.
real, right? It's false, right? The fear is just something that's in your way that's is smoke. It's not really anything. It's just a matter of it's in here. I believe that's also going back there. And getting over that fear of rejection is literally, I say, punch fear in the face. Just punch it in the face, right? Punch it in the face, and you realize, oh, and it'll evaporate, right?
Right.
Yeah, you wait, and then you keep going. That was one of those things when it all started out when I was first passing out flyers. That's where the fear of rejection first started with me. You get through all the stages where it comes down to you building up the business. Then you done made your flyers and your business cards. Now it's time to go and meet people. That's where it was for me. And I think the way that I got over that was I went through the first one. I realized, oh, I should have said this, or I should have said that, or I did that wrong, or man, that felt uncomfortable. I'm gonna do this next time. And then I just kept getting better with it every time I went out. And that's how I got over that fear of quote unquote rejection. Because here's the thing, I started going in there with the mentality of I'm just planting a seed.
Right.
I would like to meet you just to plant the seed. I'm just following my quota of
So
plants.
you didn't think I'm going to close a deal. You
You know,
didn't think like that.
you know what? I was thinking this has the potential to.
Right. Right.
But I think when I was first starting, I was more so of the mentality of let me get my reps in, right?
Right. That's a good
Get my
point.
reps in. That's kind of how I was thinking. And if this go, and I was also in that mindset of not being attached to the outcome. Like this might go well, or they may say yes, or they may say no, or they may need me. They may even throw away my flyer and business card. But you know what? I'm about to get my rep in, right? That's kind of how I was looking at it. How about you on that?
Right. That's a good point. And I would add to that. So obviously you've cold called, you door to door. I have too. And you meet people who are rude sometimes. Because they do get a lot of salespeople contacting them all the time, so they can get a little annoyed. And they may be having a bad day. So sometimes you get some bad responses. But one thing I've learned, most of the time you're gonna get, we're not interested, we good. The bottom line is, are they rejecting you? Is it a rejection or is it just not right now? So the bottom line is, if there's no pain, there's no sale. If they don't need you, they don't need you. So my point is, when do most clients that we're going after, doctor's office, medical offices, when do they reach out to you? When they are in pain, when the current company is not doing a good job, when things are not going well, the current company just quit. Or sometimes you'll reach out to them just when we were just looking for a cleaning company. My point is, a lot of times we get bent out of shape, they reject them. They don't need us right now. It's not rejection. It's just they're not in any kind of pain. Think about times you've been advertised to. Let's see, a vacuum. We've all gotten a little advertisement in the mail or in our email. Do you want this vacuum? Do you want this vacuum? Well, we don't want the vacuum because we don't need it. We got a vacuum. But maybe if our vacuum breaks down, we may remember that advertisement. We may go back to it and perhaps buy that vacuum. So my point is, if there's no pain, then we're not going to get anywhere. They don't need us right now from those clients that we're going after. So I don't view it as rejection. I view it as not right now. They just don't need me right now. But when the time is right, they'll reach out. Or I'm going to keep marketing to them so that I can stay, as they say, top of mind, so that when their pain, when their current cleaning company messes up, they'll remember me.
Great point, man. Great point. I like the lens you put on it, because you have the perspective of, if I was the client and somebody was marketing to me, then yeah, I'm going to be polite. I'm going to be kind to them. I'm not going to just close the door in their face, but I'm going to let them know, hey, I'm good right now. I get several calls from people trying to advertise these different marketing services to me.
Yeah.
On my Google, and I have to tell them, hey man, I appreciate you, but at the time I'm not interested in this, or I got another campaign going on, I'm doing something else. Same thing. And I look at that from my perspective of doing sales. When I'm talking to somebody, yes, like you said, if there's no real need or pain, I am not about to force them to have pain. Here's nothing too. Like I said, being in the flow. I want to live in the flow. I'm not about to, I don't try to force nothing. Sir, ma'am, thank you for your time. If you don't need us right now, that is great. But tell me something. I got to go to the next person, right? Tell me yes, tell me no, tell me something, I got to go. That's another thing Brian Tracy or Myron Golden said. But yes, we just, like I said, going out there with the mentality of, let me plant this seed. And yes, like you said, stay on top of mind. That's you watering the seed. You reaching out to them, hey, just checking in on you, see everything is going. Right. And that takes effort and dedication too. And setting reminders and getting your calendar right and making sure you reach back up with, or follow back up with people. But at the same time, yes, if there's no necessary need right now, then hey, I'm gotta wait my time. Right. Another thing too is look at it from a perspective of, if you were the cleaning company in there and somebody walked into your building or a building that you clean, wanted to speak with your client, hey, hopefully we're doing a good job. You know what I mean? That's another reason why I stay on my P's and Q's and I get inspections regularly, because I love to see somebody else's flyer and business card in the trash can, because that lets they don't need that. We're doing a great job, right? And you know, of course, hey, this is how it is. You know what I'm saying? And yes, and go ahead, try the next one down the street, bro. You might be okay down there, but we got this one over here. Right. And I'm glad that client is happy with their current service, because that lets me know, okay, they cool with them, they dedicated with them, and that's how I like for my clients to be as well. So yeah, man, it's just a matter of you plant seeds, going out there and reaching the people who are in pain right now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because this is no lie, I actually had this happen to me last week. I've been marketing to this dentist office for over a year. We called like we do, and they weren't interested at the moment. So I got the email address of the point of contact, the office manager. I've been sending her emails for literally over a year, just staying on top of. She hadn't actually. She's never responded to me. She has not responded to me one time. But I just kept sending email updates on the company. Hey, we're still here if you need us. Well, last week they called me and they said, "Hey, yeah, you've been sending us emails. We're in need of a cleaner right now. We want you to come give us a quote." So, and I should have asked them on the phone what exactly happened. Did the current cleaner quit? Or are they doing a bad job? But anyways, I'm doing the walkthrough tomorrow. So the point is, they haven't responded to me for over a year because for whatever reason, there was no need. Now, for whatever reason, and I'm gonna find out tomorrow, there's a need. So that literally just happened to me last week. When there's a need, they'll let you know. If not, then it's best for all parties. Because if
Right.
you try to force, like you said, if you try to force a walkthrough, all that's gonna happen is both both parties' time is gonna be wasted. Number two, because this happens sometimes too, they may let you do the walkthrough only to see will you go lower than the current cleaning company? Can we get them a little lower? Can we get a cheaper price? And that's not good. I don't think that's a good thing for the cleaning company. So no, like you said, it's best not to force because it's just a waste of time and not gonna end well.
Right, right. Great point on that too, man. And thinking about that, I love the fact that that persistence got you that walkthrough, got you that that opportunity. Let's talk about that too a little bit, man. The power of persistence, staying at it, continuing until, I'm gonna do this until, continuing to plant those seeds and just drip feed those emails. That's something that I got to get better on. It's more on top of as far as like the last company that I told you, I was just telling you about that bid that I put out there, the one on the weekends. I reached out to her for several weeks. This had to be about a month ago, a month and a half ago. I reached out to her after about 3 days. I didn't hear anything. Got reached back out again. Reached back out again. They finally told me, "Hey, I'm going to be taking a look at it soon," or something like that. When she said that, that let me know. Oh, okay. She it's too high for her. She don't want it.
Right. That's not a good answer when they
Right,
say it like
right. I'm
that.
like, oh, I got you. Okay, because it don't take that long to open that up and check it out.
Right.
But things like that where I'm like, okay, cool. She let me know something. I ain't got to think about it no more. But anyway, going back to the people who you have had interactions with, that's something that I most definitely want to get more systematic about is constantly reaching out to them. Let's talk about that persistence as well a little bit.
Okay. Well, number one, if they didn't tell you, don't call again. Every now and then somebody will say, don't call here ever again. But most of the time they do not say that. If they don't tell you that, then keep reaching out. Now, let's use some caution. If I look at my email, I can see I reached out to her probably every 2 to 3 months. I didn't email this point of contact that I'm talking about. I didn't email her every week. It was probably every 2 to 3 months. So my point is, you want to be persistent. If they don't tell you, don't don't call her anymore. Then keep contacting them. But you want to space out your contacts. You don't want to contact them every week, every day. And actually, the last time I emailed, it's July now. The last time I emailed her was probably in June. And they still, probably because they saw my email come across so many times over this past year. So they still remembered me. I didn't have to reach out every week. I had reached out enough. I had spaced it out enough without being annoying, is what I'm saying. So to answer the question, if they don't tell you, not to call here again, or not to email them again. Just keep doing it. Just space it out though, every 2 to 3 to 4 months.
That's perfect. That's perfect. That's also why I like to tell people don't leave empty-handed. When you going out there and speaking to these people, you might be marketing, handing out your flyers and business cards door to door. When you're walking in there, hey, do you have a car that I could take? Keep for myself as well. I love to do that because of the fact that just like this right here, I know if I can get them into my database or whatever you call it, if I got them on my email list, it's going to them, like you say, however often you decide to email them, and you just stand top of mind. You stand that is great. That is great.
Right.
So I'll be glad to hear about that too, man. When it comes down
Okay.
to it, that's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
and we use MailChimp. That's a email marketing system to email constantly to our potential clients. So I think another tip is with being persistent is get something that automates it. So you don't have to physically do it. If you can set up some automation system every 3, 4 months, we email these 10 potential clients, and that'll make it so much easier.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, that's perfect. This is kind of a shift or a left turn, I guess you can call it. But that word automate just reminded me of something that I don't hear enough about either. Us being cleaning business owners, being the CEO of our own thing, we have to look long term as well. When you got a job, you got a 401k or something like that. One thing that word automated just reminded me about is automatically saving as well. There's something that I've done. Now, when I worked at my day job, I had a 401k, and every single month automatically, or every single paycheck automatically, a certain percentage would go out and go into my savings. When we are in this business working for ourselves and we don't have anybody necessarily doing that for us, a company doing that for us, we have to be on top of that as well. And I don't hear people talk about this a lot. One thing I did was I spoke to my mentor about this too, because I was a little bit concerned about that. I'm like, all right, what can I do with this? I got this savings over here. But what I did was I rolled that 401k over into an IRA. And this is not financial advice. This is just something that I did. But I rolled that over into an IRA. That you got a Roth IRA, you got an IRA, and then there's a brokerage account as well. And anyway, I ended up putting that into some investments, some quote unquote safe long-term investments. You got the ETFs and you got index funds that are big index funds. This guy with this weed eater right here.
I hear it. It ain't that loud.
Anyway, but so you got several funds that you could invest into, right? And anyway, I did that, and now that money is growing for me because of the fact I like to think one day I'm gonna be an old man, right? Lord willing, I'm gonna grow up one day, and I'm gonna need that as well to be able to live off of it, especially doing the business for ourselves. We have the business, supplying us, but as well as when we are not necessarily working all the time, we want to have something automated for the future. And that's the mindset of having that long-term vision.
Right.
As far as automated, one thing I started doing is I got Acorns set up on my phone, and it's connected to my business checking account. And every time I swipe that card, it's rolling over. It's invested into this Acorns account, because what it does is it takes the change, so it'll round up basically. Say you bought something for $27.50, right? That other 50 cents is going to round up 28. Take the other 50 cents and invest it into the investment fund that you got for you. So anyway, it's automatic, systematic, and I got a certain amount going in there every month too. But that's how I've been doing it. Let's speak on that too, man, because I think people need to think about that as well, as having that mindset of one day I'll be an old man, and I need to be able to put some of this money I'm earning back for that future as well.
Right. But definitely, that's something that I haven't done yet, investing. But one thing that I do have is a savings account. So a portion of my funds, I make sure that I try to keep my expenses low. So I make sure that I'm spending as less as possible. I'm taking as less as possible from the business. So most of my money I'm trying to reinvest. I say keep feeding the beast, which is the business.
Mhm.
So if I get, and man, somebody was just talking about this. If I get a $8,000 check, don't take it all for myself to use on a trip. I put some back in my savings account, like you said, for a rainy day or for my future. For my personal expenses, I may get some out of that 8,000, but the rest of it I put back into the business for reinvesting purposes, marketing, insurance. So definitely you have, like you said, you have to think long term. You can't think short term. And what I say in terms of financial advice or business financial advice, treat the company as a real person. Treat the business as somebody you really pay. Give the business its share of the fund. Keep saving up for a rainy day, not just for your personal self, but for your business as well. So that's just good, brief financial advice.
Absolutely. That's perfect on the mindset too, man. One thing we do is, and like you say, I got that term from Dave Ramsey. That's retained earnings, right? This is one thing that stays in the business because, like you say, sometimes you might go several months without this certain person paying this certain company. This check hadn't came yet, right? That's one thing we dealt with. So yes, we need to have something we can fall back on. So great, 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 great conversation on that right there, man. My guy, Michael Wilkins, I appreciate you, bro. Shout out your coaching program again and kind of gives people some information on that for real.
Okay, yeah. So we're glad Wilkins Refresh Cleaning Service. We're so glad to offer coaching and mentoring now. I know a lot of you, you're struggling. You may not know the best route to take. You may need some specific advice on an account you want to be in, how to get commercial contracts, how to hire. Well, that's where I can come in. I can help you at. If you go on my website, wilkinsrefreshcleaningservice.com, and you'll see at the top middle one-on-one mentoring and coaching calls. So we can do a 60-minute call, a 120-minute call, 180-minute call. We can go over all the things that you want to go over that can help you to grow your business. So I invite you to check it out, and I look forward to helping all of you.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Perfect way to end this, man. My God, Michael, we got to have you back on here, man. I believe people got some value out of this. If you did, y'all, make sure you hit that like button for us. I appreciate y'all for watching this. Peace. All right, man. Hey, that was great, bro.
All
That
right. A
was
lot
great.
of gems dropped.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man.